Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your March 2021 mid-month general readings. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of March, and this reading is for the Earth sign of Virgo. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all safe and well and reasonably sane wherever it is you're at as we meander through another and a bit better year. Thanks for taking the time to tune in today and for all that you do in support of this channel, even if it's just taking the time to watch the videos, your likes, your shares, your subscribes, all that lovely word of mouth stuff, reaching out for personal readings, comments, feedback, donations. It's all very welcome and greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. So this reading is for the Earth sign of Virgo. That's if your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign is in Virgo. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for a Virgo. But of course, being a general reading, it's always going to resonate a little differently for everyone. You know your own stories. So if you know all of your signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, watch them all for additional perspective and insight. If you find that this reading or any of the videos resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, maybe take a little deeper look at something, you can click on the description link below, click on that little arrow. It'll show you some contact details, my email address. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond with more information within the same day or the first 24 hours. And I do readings full time, so I'm pretty diligent about working with my schedule and yours to get those personal readings set up as quickly as possible, either for yourself or as a gift for anyone else. I do offer a wide variety of readings. So email me if you're interested. I'd be happy to work with you. All right, Virgo, let's take a look at what the last 2 weeks of March have in store for you. Virgo. All right, Virgo, we begin with the Five of Wands. A little conflict and drama there. Followed by death, endings, transformations. The Page of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. The King of Swords. The Three of Swords. From the bottom of the deck, 2 cards pulled out. The Four of Cups and the Hanging Man. I'm going to keep them both. From the bottom of the deck, that's the overall energy and focus for the last 2 weeks of March. Virgo, it looks like you are it feels like you're kind of taking a bit of a breather, watching things play out just because there's been so much conflict or drama, maybe ongoing circular drama or fighting over the same thing over and over again. It feels like you're taking kind of a time out. You're not interested in engaging in this anymore, actively at least. You're still watching it play out, but you're not taking any specific action, which is what your overall energy is about. The Hanging Man, who hangs upside down in what seems like an awkward, uncomfortable position. It's often depicted as hanging from the Tree of Life or the Tree of Knowledge. So you're gaining information, although things are still playing out. You may not know everything yet. So you're watching and learning, and but not taking any specific decisive action. And you're not interested in getting involved, or at least you're not interested in continuing to be involved at this time, because we have the Four of Cups here, which is often a card of disinterest and a lack of enthusiasm over an offer of some kind. Or you may be taking some time out to consider an offer because you're not really all that sure if you want to take whatever that offer is. I'm getting a couple of different stories, Virgo. It feels like some of you are having, it feels like some of you are receiving some kind of offer to either end a conflict or suspend a conflict or try and resolve it some other way or find some kind of temporary solution. But you're not, and it might be like coming together to find resolution, but it feels like you're not all that interested because, you've already spent too much time going around and around this issue, which is precisely what the Five of Wands represents. It can mean, it's a card of conflict and drama and competition. It's not intensive because we're only at a 5 and they're sparring with practice weapons. They're not using real weapons. Nobody's out to kill each other, but everybody wants to be first. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants to have the last word. It's, it can represent, petty gossip, rumor mongering, conflict, insecurity, competitive, insecure energy, going over the same thing over and over and over again. If this is this could be for some of you a circle of friends or even a group of coworkers in a work setting or a work office. And it feels like you're tired of it. I mean, with it, we have the Death card, which represents a final ending. Can also represent transformation. But I just get kind of the feeling here, Virgo, that you don't want to deal with this anymore and you don't want to be involved in it anymore. Some of you, it might be that this is going on external to you, but in your environment, either your home or family environment or social circle or work. And the offer that you don't seem all that interested in, even though you haven't really said yes to, it might be being drawn into this in some way, shape, or form. We'll clarify what that is. And then we have the Page of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, which typically is a pretty positive combination of cards. It usually represents, kind of exploring some new opportunities, some different opportunities. Because the page represents, that student apprentice energy. Pages are in the process of learning and trying to figure out how to apply what they're learning. They're early students. They're trying to figure out how to apply what they're learning to the path in front of them. And it's about having a practical mindset and doing that. But they don't have quite enough knowledge and experience to begin to manifest because they're learning. They're exploring the beginning of a new path. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, your energy. I mean, for some of you, because pages can represent children or young people, some of this conflict or drama might be about a child or a young person or, with a child or a young person as well, and you're just kind of sick of it. But for others of you, it feels like you may be just kind of pulling back during this time to focus on new opportunities or something else. It might be in work. It just might be in the earth energy area of your life, because that's the element which governs Pentacles. So, the physical day-to-day structure of life, work, money, job, career, projects, assets, property, those physicals, tangible, see, touch, feel things. And then we have the King of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra energy, Sun, Moon, or Rising, with the Three of Swords, which is the card of heartbreak, sometimes breakup or estrangement or emotional pain or disappointment. I feel like for most of you, if not all of you, this King of Swords is a person who's significantly involved in this situation, who may be having a difficult time within this. For some of you, it might be a personal relationship, like a friendship, or even a love romance relationship, like girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. And I feel like, in spite of the fact that the King of Swords, the King of Air, the King of Knowledge and Information and Communication and Forthrightness, underneath his cool exterior, it looks like he's feeling some kind of hurt or disappointment or fear of that, I'm getting. So let's clarify this, see if we can unpeel it a little bit further. Let's clarify this Five of Wands. What is this conflict about? If it's within a personal relationship for you and the King of Swords, it feels like whatever the argument or the conflict is, the central kind of bone, this is like, it's just reoccurring and reoccurring. It's a cyclical kind of argument. For some of you, it may be somebody that you're close to, but not in a romantic relationship, but that's in your environment. It could even be a parent or a family member. It could be a partner as well. You may be arguing over something to do with a child or a young person or money. You may be, having this ongoing conflict about exploring new opportunities. Clarify the Five of Wands. The Seven of Swords, a card of deception or concealment or being strategic for self-interest. Not necessarily a bad card. We all operate off the grid. It represents that somebody has a goal, something they want to do, maintain, acquire, accomplish, and in doing that, they keep their thoughts, their plans, and their actions to themselves because they feel like it's in their own best interest. This can be negative or positive. But it is a card. But since this is a source of conflict, it's probably about being sneaky or hiding something. And then we have the Knight of Cups. Knights always represent action and opportunities for change and the speed at which situations move. The Knight of Cups is the Knight of Water, which governs the emotional area of life. So the Knight of Cups is traditionally someone who comes charging in, offering their love, support, encouragement. And then the World, which is a card of successful completion, leveling up, moving on to new horizons. So this is the source of this ongoing conflict. For some of you in a love romance situation, it might be that your partner, it might be that a central argument for some of you is if somebody is sneaking around or, exploring other romantic possibilities or options. It also might be that someone they suspect you or you suspect them, could be on the other side of the story, of seeking out help to complete something. Like why are you looking in this direction, or why are you looking, asking this person for help, why not me, or why are you doing these things behind my back? Or you're making secret plans to get help to move on in some way. Now, moving on might be, in a relationship, it might be moving on or breaking up or something of that sort. But it could also represent, since it does look like you're exploring new opportunities, although more in a practical sense, it might be that the ongoing argument might be about something that has to do with career, job, or money as well. And you might not be sharing this with somebody who feels you need to be sharing it with, or vice versa as well. Because it feels like underneath that, their cool exterior of the King of Swords, the concern is that you're not seeking them out, or that you're doing something behind their back to move up or move ahead or explore something without talking with them first, or talking it over with them, or something of that sort. Which might not resonate for those of you for whom this King of Swords is, you have a different relationship with, like family. So let's keep clarifying. Let's clarify the Three of Swords. The Nine of Wands, feeling discouraged, struggling to figure out if you have the strength or energy or inclination to even push through something, which is kind of pointing towards your overall energy. And the Queen of Swords, which would be the natural mate or match of the King of Swords. For some of you, so the King and Queen of Swords, this is a partnership or a couple of some kind. It might be you and your partner, regardless of the fact that your sun sign is Earth. It might be like parents, your parents or your partner's parents. It might be a couple with whom you're close friends with. Maybe this is somebody sharing with you as well. It could be parents having issues. It feels like this King of Swords, however relevant he is in your life, but it feels like it's somebody you have a close relationship with, despite the nature of that relationship. It feels like this King of Swords is really worried. Oh my goodness, Nine of Swords is next. Stress, anxiety, worry, insomnia, worrying about an unknown future, obsessively worrying about something, and usually in the worst possible outcome. The Eight of Swords, feeling trapped, feeling helpless, feeling like you can't change a situation. It feels like this King of Swords is really worried that the Queen of Swords is giving up on them, or close to giving up on them, or feeling like they can't continue in some, they're stressed and worried that they might be making plans behind their back or undercover to move on, or to find a way or find help or resources to move on in some way. It feels like for a lot of you, this might be a personal romance relationship, but it could be either between you and your partner, like husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or it could be maybe concern about your parents, or again, another couple that's close to you. Because it feels like the King of Swords is really worried about the Queen of Swords, making secret plans to move on, because they keep fighting over the same thing over and over again, or there's these insecurity issues, and they're worried that they're going to move on from them. That's what I'm getting. You may be being asked to be involved in this situation, or you may be receiving some kind of maybe, olive leaf or white flag or peace offering if it's you directly involved in this relationship. Or it might be that you're being asked to help in this other relationship. Either way you look at it, it looks like you're not really all that sure. You're still kind of watching things play out and trying to make up your mind. If it's a one-on-one personal relationship, it might be that your partner or your friend is making an offer to you to find a way to resolve it. It could even be to let's clarify the Four of Cups. Ultimately, it's you're not sure if you want to accept an offer or get involved in some way. It's either a personal relationship you have with this person, Virgo, or someone very close to you. The Lovers, which is a relationship at a crossroads where you need to decide about the future. The Eight of Wands, communication, activity, travel, forward movement. The Four of Wands, the Happy Home card, home, stability, and harmony. It can often represent celebratory events that include or are around home and family. It might be something formal like a wedding or an anniversary or graduation or somebody's birthday, or it might be something informal. It could be like family reunions. I mean, for some of you, this might be, an offer to go to a family reunion, but you both are split on whether or not you should go or not. It might be that you don't want to get involved in yet more family drama, or if the parents are fighting, who wants to be around that. If this is you and your own personal romantic partner, it might be an offer to get away for a while. It's like, okay, we keep fighting about this thing and there's all this stress. What the nature of this relationship is and the exact conflict around it and how close it is to you is going to differ in the general readings, because they always resonate differently in the specifics and details, of course. It couldn't be the exact same thing for everybody. But the energy fundamentally remains the same. There's some kind of offer or opportunity here that looks like it might be in the best interest, or at least the intention is for it to be in the best interest of family and home harmony. It might be a social event or something like that, given that it's safe to do in whatever your situation is. And it might be just you and this other person kind of getting away. It might be helping this other couple to maybe arrange to get away or something of that sort as well. It just feels like you're not sure if you really want to do this or not. So it's a little bit fuzzy. I hope it's got to resonate for somebody out there. Let's just end with pulling some advice and guidance cards. Advice and guidance for Virgo on what the best way is to navigate through this situation. And remember, we're only looking at a short period of time here, just 2 weeks. The Page of Swords in reverse. So this is not spying on somebody. This is not trying to gain information. And this is also not having a conversation with somebody, or having a specific conversation with that King of Swords, or not speaking with the King of Swords. The Five of Wands, so we have the Five of Wands twice. So Whatever the nature of this offer is, the advice from Spirit is very clearly not to engage, especially verbally, in the conflict or conversation with this King of Swords, to not engage in this because it looks like it's just going to perpetuate it. It might be that you've received some kind of peace offering or an offer to get together or try and resolve something, again, regardless of the relationship. But Spirit is advising you at this time not to do that. If there's some insecurity or suspicion kind of energy going on here, and you've been maybe, sneaking around or trying to gather information or spy on somebody or something of that sort, it's clearly a message from Spirit to stop doing that sort of thing. It's interesting. It feels like we're right in the middle of an ongoing story here, which we usually are, but this feels like it's really right in the middle of a fairly very fluid situation. So this is what's happening during this 2-week period, the last 2 weeks of March, Virgo. Whatever the offer is, whatever you're being tempted to do, but you're not sure if you should get involved or not, or have the conversation or not, or help or not. For the time being, during the last 2 weeks of March, there's a clear message from Spirit to kind of just temporarily disengage from that and not continue the conflict or not be a contributor to the conflict. Okay. Virgo, that is your reading for the last 2 weeks of March. I hope it wasn't too confusing. I hope it made sense to whoever needs it to make sense to. They usually come out pretty clear, but this one was a bit fuzzy around the edges. And again, it still feels like it's very fluid and still actively playing out. So I hope it was of some help and use to you. Again, if this reading resonated with you or any of them do, and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something, feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to hear from you. You can get that information also by clicking on the little description link below. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the April general readings. Until then, stay safe and well, be blessed, have some peace in your life, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.